What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. This is Steven in Stereo, and in today's video, we're diving back into the group Citizen Soldier. I just recently checked out Thank You for Hating Me. Loved the lyrical value of that very much, that anthem to just stand up, and everything that you've become is because of all the shit you've had to go through and what people have done, and I fucking loved the energy in that. In today's video, we're checking out one that I have heard is a little bit more sad, and I also, based on some of the comments that I saw in the last video, it does seem that most of their music does tend to be more on the sad side. That one just kind of stood out as a little bit more of an anthem, so I'm really looking forward to this. I want to give a huge shout out to Tasha over on Patreon. Thank you so much for not only requesting today's video, but also for supporting me over on Patreon, making sure that videos like this can happen. Thank you so much. So stoked. All right, with all those things out of the way, this is called Strong for Somebody Else. And I've heard that it's sad, okay? Trigger warning. I don't know what the trigger warning is, but trigger warning.
I've played out the scene so much in my head. I have to wake up, but I'd rather be dead.
Oh shit.
Haunted by thoughts of the ones I love most. I pictured them living alone with my ghost. Kill the pain and kill the family. Choke the dark down, just be happy.
Fuck.
Talk myself off of this ledge I know all too well.
Now, those are those are lyrics written from the perspective of somebody who has gone through this. And without putting too much of my own life or anybody else's lives out there, anybody who's ever gone through this or had these feelings come up, he pretty much just described in very, very good fashion what your brain goes through as you're experiencing these, because you think about yourself and not wanting to be there, but then your mind obviously goes to the people that are around you and what it would do to them, or if they would even care. I don't know if he'll talk about that as well, but like those things all come up too. So I feel for him right now.
I know all too well. My personal hell, I'll bury it.
Oh fuck. God damn. Yeah, holy shit. Woo! It hits quick too. Definitely from the perspective of somebody who has gone through this too. And there's something to be said. I think I'm somebody who deals with maybe just from growing up, but I deal with a lot of like the people pleasing problem. And part of that too, one of the underlying issues that kind of like come from that is that you never express the pain that you're going through, the struggles that you're going through, a lot of the things that you have going on, that nobody else will ever know about, the demons that are so fucking nightmarish that live in your head, but you can't just put that out on everybody. And I think like it comes to a situation like this where that tension gets built in so deep because you are holding on to so much pain, living in your own personal hell, but no one else sees it. You fake a smile, you carry the weight of the world for other people, knowing damn well that you were like already like fucking shin deep in your own grave mentally because you can't get out of this. And then you numb it with the pill. But the pill doesn't just numb it, right? There's side effects to the pill. Getting on antidepressants, getting on all these other things. It's like we go through these journeys, and I can speak freely about these things because I fucking deal with this shit every day. My mental health is trash. And it's crazy because like you want to take the pills because you want to feel better, but the pills make you someone that you're not anymore because you spent so long with so much like shit and trauma and all this other bullshit that you didn't process that like now you're like, you're at a point that like, a version of yourself that once you take these meds, you're no longer that version of yourself. And then it almost becomes it. I know I'm not going to sit here and rant about this, but I know that anybody else who is going through similar things or has gone through this journey, because mental health is definitely a journey and you don't really make it to the other side. You just kind of keep going, And I do feel like anybody else out there who's listening to this, who has felt that, this shit hits deep.
In my head, it wants me to choose. Die selfish or live with my head in a noose.
God damn.
Does it ever get better? Is this worth the fight? Everyone has a breaking point. Guess we'll find mine. Kill the body, not the memory. Wouldn't blame them. They'd resent
I will say too, on the other end, oh my god, shut up, stop. I will say on the other end of this, uh, oh fuck. I'm trying not to cry. I can't look at the camera because I'll cry. Don't do it. I yeah. I do feel like when I think of like when I've been at my lowest points in my life, I have empathized, even though like it's of course like that's not the time to be thinking about the other people because it really is about you, but you absolutely have to think about the other people too. And getting a phone call like that, I won't want anyone else to be on the other end of that. Or I don't want anyone to be on the other end of one of those because of me. I also don't want to be on the other end of one of those ever again, ever. Oh. Woo. Oh. Yeah. Nice and melodic. Let's go. Let's go. I've gotta be strong for somebody. Let's go. For somebody. Yeah. Woo. Oh, I love his voice right there. The way he says that right there. Oh, all right. Let's talk about this, baby. So, being strong for somebody else. Here's the thing. If you are in a place where you are dealing with these kind of things, it is so hard to think about anyone else sometimes. I know the first verse we're considering like the other people around us that are going to have to deal with the weight of what would happen if we were to do the things that we're thinking about. But I also, it's very important that you get strong for you, but you do it by the pathway of getting strong for somebody else, right? The most important thing you can do is get strong, but that is like the hardest fucking thing to do in this situation. So you start thinking about the one friend that texted you the one time, or your brother that reached out, or any of these things. And you start thinking about like, man, like what happens if I put them in this situation? Like, what if it's like, it's such a crazy concept because when you think about everything being the worst that they could possibly be, that you're even in this mindset, it is so hard to even think that you'd be thinking of other people. But I think it's so important because it really is the pathway that gets you out of that. And I think that like the message behind being strong for somebody else, I think is very uplifting in a lot of ways because yes, it talks about how we're going to bury our feelings and we carry this weight and we don't tell anybody, even though we have these demons inside of us. And do we just get rid of our bodies, or do we live with this noose around our minds? Like there's so much that's going into that. But at the end of the day, as somebody who has been been in this headspace, but has also been on the receiving end of a phone call from a friend who was in this headspace that is no longer here. I never want to put someone in. How can you like, I wonder like at what age I'll be able to just talk about these things without being like fucking, oh, I never want to put someone on the other end of one of those phone calls. There's no worse feeling than to pick this phone up from a name that you haven't seen in forever to tell you that a friend of yours is no longer here. Like that is the fucking worst. And can you imagine? I can't even. Oh God. Yeah. There's some things that's just like, you try to talk about them on YouTube and you try to be lighthearted about it, but I can't. This is like one of those things that's just so fucking awful. And being in this headspace is awful. And if you need help, please reach out. God damn. Especially if you bury it all the time, even if you don't necessarily feel all the way that maybe some of these verses are, if you even are in this headspace a little bit, or you mentally feel like you deal with these things a little bit, there's nothing wrong with reaching out. And I didn't realize that till I was 29 years old. So imagine living in your own personal hell for your whole fucking life because it's just like, okay, you should just get over it and fucking deal with it and whatever else I was told growing up. And like, that shit doesn't work. It actually makes it so much worse. It's so much worse to bury it. That's how you end up in the worst situations of your life, because you just bury it because you can't fucking say anything. Well, guess what? You can fucking tell me. You can tell your friend. You can tell the YouTube comments. You could call and tell a hotline. You could call and tell a therapist. You could call your grandma, call fucking anybody. I mean, that's the thing, is like, sometimes it is just getting out of our heads enough to put it out there, because we carry the weight. And I can't speak for everybody, but we carry the weight because we don't want to let other people down, and we don't want to disappoint other people to a fault, to a point that we're willing to put ourselves to a point that we're considering not existing anymore. And the only thing that's keeping us around is that we don't want to hurt other people's feelings. What the fuck? That's insane. It's just insane. Oh, God damn. Well, anyways, this is not the way that I like to do these reaction videos, because mental health is really serious to me. And, you know, it's funny. I'll talk about being healthy all the time. Like, I'm a pretty big health guy. I go to the gym a lot and all that stuff. But it is so funny that you could be healthy on paper from like a blood level and like body and all this other stuff, and be so fucked mentally sometimes that like it's true you're not actually healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we got to take care of our mental health. And I'm saying that as like, we all need to fucking take care of it, myself included. Look, I should be able to talk about these things without feeling like this. So there's nothing wrong with being open about these things, because I do not want you to all walk around carrying the weight of the world and at your own expense for other people, or just because you don't want to necessarily like be here, or you don't feel like you can navigate these things. These horrible feelings I've had in my life have come in waves. They've come and they've gone. And it's when those waves like subside, it's when that feeling kind of like goes away for a little bit, that I can start doing the work on it. And sometimes all I needed to do was voice how I felt. And that doesn't mean it's going to be the same for you, but it is something that started to change and give me forward progress in my own journey for my mental health. So I'm not trying to rant about mental health this entire time. This is a very serious song though, and I really love the energy put into it. And not gonna lie, based on the last two tracks, I'm very interested to hear more of what Citizen Soldier has to offer. I did hear that the vocalist is now like, or he practices therapy, or he is a therapist, or he does it on the side. I'm not quite sure how that, you know, I'm not quite sure how he does that, and also tours. I guess you could definitely do that because BetterHelp and all this. It doesn't matter. The point is, he does the therapy thing, and I think that's fucking amazing, because now when I hear music like this, he's definitely singing from a perspective of somebody who gets it. So I love that. I definitely want to hear more. And yeah, I want to give a huge shout out to Tasha for requesting this one. I know it's a little bit heavier in the emotions, you know, more often than I would usually be reacting to. Sometimes we have a lot of fun, but I think when a song has just strong lyricism like this, you have to just fucking talk about it. So thanks, Tasha. I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.